Matches Mack, my friend John McClain, talking sports. What's up, John?
All kind of good things going on. The Astros have been on a roll going into that Monday afternoon game against the Twins at Minute Maid. They've been better on the road than they have been at home, and it's too bad they can't play the A's every game.
How's Carlos Correa playing?
Carlos Correa's been okay. He's been hurt. He's been in and out of the lineup for a while. And but the Twins, they play in the worst division in baseball, so they could finish first or last. But right now, they're not playing as well as people had anticipated. And I'm sure when he re-signed with the Twins that he thought they were going to be better.
How's George Springer playing?
George is playing very well. He's been healthy. Toronto is supposed to be one of the best teams in the American League. And they're over 500, but they still have not played the way they're capable. They got hitters up and down the lineup. And speaking of hitters, this is a terrible stat for Astros fans. As of Sunday, the Rangers, who are leading the Astros by 2 games, have the highest OPS in clutch situations in any team since 30 Yankees.
Is that right? Astros own the Rangers. That doesn't matter. How about Justin Verlander? How's he doing?
Verlander just got shelled in his last start. I mean shelled. And he had one really good game, one bad game, so he's not anywhere near where he was with the Astros last season when he came back from that Tommy John surgery and won his Cy Young Award.
How about American League East? That's a tough division, right?
Oh boy, every team's got a winning record. The biggest surprises in baseball, the Rangers and the Baltimore Orioles just played in Baltimore. Baltimore was avoided being swept by winning the last game 3-2. But they're fun to watch because they hit. But at some point, as you know, you got to pitch, and pitching can catch up to it.
The Astros got some great pitching, right?
They do, and Bikini can't come back quick enough because their minor league system, they got hitters, but they don't have pitchers that are ready to elevate from like AA and A. Those guys are for down the line. But like J.P. France, you hope he doesn't realize, wake up one morning and go, oh, I'm J.P. France. I'm a 28-year-old rookie, that he continues to pitch well.
He pitches today, right?
Pitches in the Monday game against the Twins. He pitched better on the road than he did when he came home, and he worried that he was tipping his pitches. I've seen quite a few pitchers now who are getting hit that want to have their coaches study what they're doing because they're afraid they're tipping. Because of the Astros in 2017, everybody's worried about everybody else watching them so closely they can pick out any little flaw that may show breaking ball or fastball.
It's like a poker player, right?
That's exactly like what it is.
How about the Texans?
Texans are in their OTAs. They have their mini camp on June 13th and 14th, and OTAs. It's all about mental because of new coaches. You got new defensive and offensive coordinators, new head coach, of course. So they can't hit, they can't wear pads. All they can do is go out there and stand across from each other and hope that everybody that's taught things in the classroom take it out onto the field and don't make mental mistakes.
So that's pretty involved, right? He's a new system.
It is because, if you have the same system over and over, you're teaching the new players. When you come in with new systems, and the one on defense is going to be similar, 4-man front, 3 linebackers, 2 linebackers most of the time because you have to play 5 defensive backs, and they'll play more man coverage than Lovie Smith did. He liked to play zone because he always said he wanted the guys looking at the quarterback instead of having your back to the quarterback. D'Amico likes more man coverage. Derek Stingley, going into his 2nd season, should be the biggest beneficiary. But on offense, they're changing everything. Instead of a team that goes this way, they're going to slide this way. The back's going to make one cut and find the hole. They're going to stop, throw the ball down the field. It's going to be a much more exciting offense.
Somebody told me they're going to win 7 games. You agree with that?
When I was picking on my weekly podcast with Sean Pendergast, our Utopia Football podcast, I went over each game. With 3 games left, I had picked them to win 7 games.
Really?
And I went, whoa. And let me look again. Because I wasn't picking any upsets. The key is a rookie quarterback. Rookie quarterbacks are always going to struggle They might win 2 or 3 more games with Davis Mills. They got to play C.J. Stroud. So I've been saying 6, so now I'm going to say they'll win 7 because the schedule's the 3rd easiest in the NFL based on last year's records.
And the over-under is 5.5.
5.5 now. We talked about this before. Last year, I told everybody, take the over. It was 4.5. And man, oh man, did I feel like an idiot. But I will say this, they lost 6 games by 1 score, an average of 5.8 points in each of those losses. In 4 others, they were within a touchdown in the 4th quarter, and they lost by more than a touchdown because they really just didn't have the talent. So they were close when they were playing NFC East and AFC West. So this year, they ought to be able to do better. But I think if they won 6, people will be happy. 7 or 8, and D'Amico should be a candidate for Coach of the Year.
So give me the odds of Baylor winning the national championship, Texas winning the national championship, or A&M.
Texas. A&M, of course, plays in the wrong conference. Texas is about to play in the wrong conference. The Longhorns made their big step last year. They don't have Bijan Robinson. They don't have Rashawn Johnson. They're great running backs, but they've always got talent. They've got Quinn Ewers they're talking about. When I look at every mock draft for 2024, all of them have him coming out and going in the first round, like the 4th quarterback taken. Now, I didn't see that when I watched Longhorns last year, but I think Sarkisian has got them where he wants in this season, and they should win the conference. They're better than Oklahoma. Maybe TCU provides the competition. I certainly don't expect it to be Baylor. As far as A&M, they're going to be fun to watch because they're going to be like a soap opera with Jimbo and Bobby Petrino calling the plays and Jimbo looking over his shoulder and probably giving him this because he doesn't want him looking over his shoulder.
So that's going to be interesting. How about NBA playoffs? What do you think? How about themselves?
As we record this, it's the 7th game on Monday night in Boston.
Game 7s are always very exciting. Thank God the Astros didn't have any last year.
One of the funnest things in sports is a Game 7, especially in the NHL because they have so many go overtime, and the officials let them get away with anything in overtime. But Miami, playing 4 undrafted free agents a lot, which is unheard of, was never supposed to get anywhere close to where they are. They were 3-0. Now nobody's picking them to beat the Celtics in Boston after that miraculous finish in the 6th game. But it's been a great run. But the Celtics ought to win and play Denver handily. It'd be the first time in NBA history teams come back from 0-3 and won.
Never happened before. The Rockets came back from 1-3.
And we saw, that was the year that everybody wrote them off, and they came back and won the championship. They beat the Suns in Barkley after trailing like that. But
nobody's ever come back from 0-3.
Nobody's ever come back and won, and the Celtics are heavily favored. Everybody expects the Celtics.
I like the Heat. I like my man Jimmy from Tomball High School.
Jimmy had a tough game shooting in Game 6, but his free throw shooting was incredible, and he got 3 free throws at the end of the game with 3 seconds left, and he had to make all of them, and he did. And then, of course, the Celtics had that great putback to win it with 0.1 second left. It was an unbelievable ending.
Very controversial. Good for the television ratings, right?
It was, and Jimmy Butler's had an incredible series, an incredible career. Houston Chronicle has a great story on him about being in Tomball and playing out there, and everybody, even opposing coaches, were trying to help him get a scholarship. And because back then, I say back then, it wasn't that long ago, but you know how Tomball's grown.
Yeah.
But back then, nobody around the country was paying any attention to Tomball, Texas, and now everybody does because it's so big.
So Jimmy's had a great run, great year. Who's going to be the? How about Hopkins? Where is he going to go?
Hopkins, he said on the podcast recently that where he wanted to go was all great quarterbacks or playoff teams, and they said that only 2, Kansas City and Buffalo, made serious runs in a trade, but They couldn't work it out, and they didn't want to take his contract, which is like $19 million. Well, right now it's whatever you can negotiate with him. So I expect there's people here wanting to come back here. He's not coming back here. He don't want to play for a loser. He wants to play for a team that's got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And he's made so much money. There's no reason for him to hold out for the most money. He's single, and I would expect he will go to of the good teams. He will go to the one that gives him the best deal. All the teams are pushing for him. Cowboy fans are pushing. The media is pushing for him in Dallas. I'd like to see him go anywhere but Dallas.
Why?
Because I don't like the Cowboys.
So you used to like the Cowboys.
I used to love the Cowboys. It's not the Cowboys. It's and I'm sorry, they're arrogant and obnoxious fans.
The Cowboys, arrogant and obnoxious fans. They are everywhere. So that's Mattress Mack and John McClain talking sports here. Who is your pick for the NFL Player of the Year next year?
Well, first of all, anybody would say Patrick Mahomes. If picking a Super Bowl winner, you say the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. It would be hard to pick against him. It's going to be a quarterback. Like I think offensive rookie of the year is easy, Bijan Robinson. Defensive rookie of the year should be Will Anderson Jr. with the Texans, because the voters look at sacks and they look at yards, and Robinson should get a lot of yards rushing and a lot of yards receiving. And when it comes to the MVP, I think it's going to be another quarterback from one of the top teams. And, you know, Buffalo, Josh Allen, AFC is so tough. And in NFC, pick one of those quarterbacks. A lot of people pick Jalen Hurts, and I think Philadelphia. So I'm going to say, I don't want to pick Mahomes, so I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Bengals winning the toughest conference.
Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. You heard it right there from John McClain. And go out there and bet the over on the Texans, right?
Over on the Texans.
Over on the Texans. Have a great week. See you next week.